Here is the fourth video about learning web development from scratch, and as with the first video we'll start actually from scratch. So with a blank project, go to stacklist.com as here or link in description and scroll to JavaScript project. Click it, wait a moment, I will maximize it. Again, we will remove everything, close those model windows, close project files, and start blank like this. And one more thing, the console, because we will be still only working with the console, and I will zoom it up for you guys a bit like that. Let's start. So the topic of today's video is Booleans and conditional statements. If that sounds scary to you, don't worry, it is really not, and I'll just show you right now. Those booleans with 2O. It is actually from the name of the mathematician that worked about this, like concept theories and stuff, but in programming it is quite simple actually, because it's like a variable, right? And we can do something like is it dark at night, and I'm using here this lower camel case notation I showed you previously. So we start with lowercase letter and then the first letter of every other word is uppercase, right? So you can read it more easily. We will assign a value. In this case it will be true. Okay, because like usually it is dark at night. Like in real life there are some exceptions. There can be lights turned on and stuff like that. Maybe some, weird stuff going on, but usually it is dark at night, right? So we can assign true. And this true is not a string. When we assign a string, I will add a comment. It's like something like let something equals like that, right? But this is not the same. This is a string because we have quotation marks, right? And this is a value that you can assign to this variable, and this is called a Boolean true. You can also have false here, like so if there would be not dark at night, we could also assign false. The Boolean variable can only have like two values, either it is true or false. So it can be used for like switches and like checkboxes you see everywhere. Those are actually booleans under the hood. How to use it? Let's add if parentheses is dark at night. Let's just pick it to not type too much because I'm lazy. Braces like that, and within those braces we will put some code. And let's add console.log, the thing you already know. It is okay because it is dark at night, like usually in in normal situations. So how this works? First we have this if thing, and the if thing is actually this conditional statement, because we want to check a condition, whether it is dark at night. It is, in this case, it's true. Then execute the code that is inside those braces. So we just print this. It is okay, and we see it is executed. We can also check for case where the condition is not met. So else console.log, and we can say there must be some lights turned on, like that. Let's save it, add semicolon, and as you can see this is not executed. So we are executing the code that is here, in this case only this one console, but we can put more. You can just copy it and add something. It is dark at night, Okay, like that. So you have like more code, not only one line, but multiple lines. And those two are executed, and this one is not. So if something is true with these values, like true or false, so those are logical values, like it can either be true or false, like there is no in between, not like in real life. Else, something else, and this is not executing. But let's assume that somebody turned on the lights. So let's change it to false. And as you can see, this code is not executing now, but this is. There must be some lights turned on, right? Cool. You can use it like switches. You can just check some stuff to execute only a portion of the code, so you can have like a flow of your program. We previously just displayed everything we have pretty much line by line, but here now you can have some variation depending on the set values and so on. Of course, that will have a way more usage later when you learn more concepts and with bigger programs, but this is how it works. Okay, time for another example. Let's add a variable secret number. Okay, and let's assign it 5. Another variable, let some number equals, let's say 2. Okay, what I want to do now is just to check whether our sum number is equals to secret number. To do that, sum number equals secret number, and braces console log equal and semicolon. Don't worry if that may be a bit weird, it is actually not. What we do here is pretty much the same as here. So in parentheses we check for the condition, right? But this time the condition is this. So we basically compare those variables, values of the variables actually. The sum number, is it equal to secret number? If it is, then the same as here, just execute everything between those braces. As we can see, it is not executed because obviously 5 is not equals 2. And one more thing, you may be wondering why there are 3 equal signs here. So in JavaScript, at least, when you assign some value like here or here, you just use one equal sign. One is like assigning, and those 3 or 2 in some cases are actually checking whether something is equal. I will not go into details when you can use 2 because it will require some more talking, more knowledge, and it will be like covered in some future videos possibly. In general, you use 3 equal signs. What you can also do is just add another if, and let's check some number, pick it, whether it is less than secret number. Okay, and console log smaller. And as you can see, we already have this executed because obviously 2 is smaller than 5. So you just compare with this less than mark, and yeah, it is executing. This is not, because the condition is not met here, but here it is. So this thing is evaluating to true, like this true you can have here, right? If this is true, then it is printed, and it is. Okay, let's just quickly copy it and paste it here and just swap to more than sign, and as you can see, bigger, type bigger here, and as you can see, we still have smaller printed because we still have 2 is less than 5. This is met. Here 2 is not equal to 5, so this is not used, and the same here, 2 is not greater than 5, so this is not printed. But check it out now. When I type here 7, let's say, this is still not executing. This is not executing now because 7 is greater than 2, so this is not true. But this is now true because 7 is greater than 5, so we see this printed here, bigger, right? If we want to actually finally meet this condition, just put 5 here. And now, if 5 equals 5, yes, it is equal. And those are not executed. So as you can see, you can use this if, you can use else as opposed to if. You can put multiple if statements one after another, and you can evaluate some expression to the condition. So you can either use just a variable that holds true or false, but you can also put some expression within those parentheses. So it will be evaluated to either true or false. One more thing, I will go back to the previous example. Check this out. Let's type like that. Is it dark at night? So we'll be using this variable from above, and actually I will change its value, and I will do it like that. Exclamation mark, and use this value again, semicolon. So what I'm doing here is basically swapping from false to true, or from true to false, depending what is the initial value. So as you can see, now even there we have false, so this should be printed. Here we change it from false to true, and those lines are printed. So this exclamation mark is like, if it's false, turn it to true. If it's true, turn it to false. And it is actually very commonly used for some switches, toggles, and stuff like that. I think that would be all for today. I hope you don't find it that extremely confusing or something, but even if you do, you can rewatch the video, you can pause it, you can go back to some things and practice, basically type some stuff, check how it behaves. And if you haven't done it yet, check out the Discord server, because you can hang out there, you can ask questions, you can have some fun like playing games together. Stay tuned for future videos, and that is all for today. Bye!